Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jared. So for this video, we're going to be reviewing The Fall Guy. So I would say the biggest, or rather one of the biggest action films of 2024 is here. And strangely, we get The Fall Guy first in Singapore and Challengers later. But in the US, Challengers comes out first and then The Fall Guy. I don't know how film distribution works, but who cares, right? So, The Fall Guy is an adaptation or remake of the 1981 series of the same title. It follows Colt Seavers, played by Ryan Gosling, a seasoned stunt performer and formerly the fixed stunt double of the fictitious action star Tom Ryder, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson in the film. So, at the start of the film, it was made known that Seavers has had a relationship with camera operator Jodie, played by Emily Blunt, and they were working on a film which starred Tom Ryder. So after one of the stunt moves gone horribly wrong and left Seavers severely injured on his back, he disappeared for a long period of time and in doing so also ghosted Jodie and jeopardized their relationship. Basically, they broke up. Fast forward 18 months. 18 months later, Jodie is now a film director making her directorial feature film debut, a mega science fiction epic called Metastorm, which kind of looks like Dune. I'll elaborate just a little bit later in the video. So Metastorm would star Tom Ryder, but apparently Tom is missing. So the producer of the film, Gail, played by Hannah Waddingham, called Seavers for help to look for Tom before the film gets cancelled by the production company. And how does she do that? She calls Seavers out of retirement, or rather out of his hiatus, and to return to doing stunt work by lying to him, saying that Jodie had requested for him, where in fact Jodie didn't. It's her plan. However, as Seavers dived deeper into the search for Tom, he realized that the trouble centering around the mess of whatever that's going on was actually darker and deeper and more complex than he thought. So some quick thoughts. Since it's a remake, an adaptation, I guess it's fair to say that it's kind of expected that the story and the movie would feel kind of familiar and even, I would say, a little bit cheesy, which is fine. But let me tell you, I haven't had such a fun and enjoyable experience in a movie theatre in a long time, probably since Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, fun fact, this movie sets a new world record by having the most number of car rolls ever put on film, a total of 8.5 rolls. And this record was also mentioned in the movie. So other than that, I would say that the action and the effects are pretty standard, and that's probably a given since it's produced by Universal, a major studio, and the budget is probably one of the biggest in 2024. And really, it's no surprise given how The Fall Guy also stars two of Barbenheimer's biggest stars, right? So this film being a love letter as well as a salute to the stunts and the art form of stunt work in movies, the movie kind of also have to set that standard and meet that high bar of just superb choreography and outstanding visual effects and action sequences. Yeah. So really salute to all the stunt team and the visual effects team and all the teams for delivering such an amazing job. Well done. Now some of you will disagree with what I'm going to say, but what the heck, really. So the acting in this movie is quite decent, I would say. Especially Ryan Gosling's performance, which I think, in my opinion, he gave a better performance in The Fall Guy than he did in Barbie. So first things first, if we were to compare the comedy of Ken in Barbie and Colt Seavers in The Fall Guy, I would say overall Ryan Gosling did a better job as Colt Seavers in The Fall Guy, to me at least. So what I also like about the movie is the song choice. Song. Not score, song. So in one of the scenes, I guess in the middle of the movie, where the main gang of characters went to karaoke, and Emily Blunt picked this song and she sang this song that's my jam, okay? It's an 80s classic. Oh my gosh, And not to mention, the action sequence that was ongoing when Emily Blunt was singing that song, when that song was playing, oof, that scene was chef's kiss to me. Which brings me to this. So, given the film is such an entertaining watch, I wonder, for those of you in the US, having watched Challengers before watching The Fall Guy, I'm just curious if you would feel just a little bit disappointed watching The Fall Guy after watching Challengers, because I guess the entertainment value of Challengers is probably right up there, right? And I'm very sure when it's my turn to watch Challengers, I'm gonna have an amazing time. Was that a spit? I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy and have an incredible time watching Challengers. But I wouldn't say the same for sure if I were to watch Challengers first and then The Fall Guy. I'm not sure how The Fall Guy would have held up to that standard. Oh, and remember the Oscars this year, and the part where Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling introduced the segment saluting the stunts, and by extension also promoting this movie. So that segment, some people commented that they predicted, or at least they were hoping, the Academy would surprise everybody at the end of that saluting segment, announce a best stunts category, but of course in the end it didn't happen. So now in retrospect and in hindsight, I would say I think, and I'm kind of glad, and I think they were right to not have that decision, to not have a best stunts category, and certainly not to surprisingly announce during that segment in the Academy. I'm glad they didn't do that, and you understand why when you watch the movie. So keep a lookout. Of course, the movie is not perfect. It doesn't seem to be a perfect movie anyway. So, what I find didn't work perfectly for me was the minor, really negligible pacing issues. So perhaps towards the end of the second act and towards the end of the movie, I feel like although I would say almost every scene in the movie is essential and important, towards the end of the second act and towards the end of the movie, there were certain lines or certain moments that could be cut out, and it wouldn't really impact the movie overall, and yet it could also bring down the movie's runtime to just a little under 2 hours. It now runs at about 2 hours and 10 minutes, so yeah, maybe it could be a little bit more finesse and refined all the way. But I guess that's surprisingly about it. I don't have any major flaws that I like to highlight or discuss, but I guess of course since the movie is not it's not a masterpiece, and it certainly doesn't position itself as one. The Fall Guy is your typical feel-good hero saves the day comedy action flick, so I would say it is fair to give it the score that it aims to get, rather than to give it 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, which is pretty impulsive if you were to ask me. So I give The Fall Guy a solid 7.5 out of 10 and 3.5 stars on Letterboxd. And yay, we've come to the end of another video. So The Fall Guy is definitely one of 2024's most fun and entertaining cinematic experiences. It's probably going to make both the comedy and action top lists for a lot of people, I guess, by the end of the year. Ryan Gosling gave a fantastic performance, Emily Blunt killed it as well. All the loud and bombastic sound and actions and VFX and special effects and everything, just amazing. And of course, the stunning stunt work in this movie, as it should, right? Props to the teams, props to the stunt teams, props to everybody. So to me, it's a love letter and salute to the stunts done right, especially the credits, so be sure to sit through everything, yeah? And if I were to give some personal suggestion, try to watch it, sometime after you watch Challengers. Don't watch it one day or on the same day or one day after you watch Challengers, just so you could give both films the attention and you can fully appreciate The Fall Guy, which I think it's important so that the stunt community, the art form of stunt work, and the stunts working on this film can all earn their due deservedly. thanks a lot for watching. So the next video will be challenges, naturally. Follow my socials on Letterboxd, Twitter. Everything is linked in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.